Just want to give a quick update on silver. I did not know if this was going to fall below this actually because it could have stayed in this range from around 33.50 to 34.25 roughly, and it looks like obviously it's headed down. It could, I don't know. I mean, $30, whatever it's going to go to. I don't know. 31, 32. But I'm holding an AGQ because, first off, I bought that with unsettled funds. And same thing with USCO. I bought that with unsettled funds. But I did not know the direction of the market. I think oil is basically bullish, and I think events in Iran are going to drive up oil and silver. Now, I do know the double leverage erodes, and obviously it goes down twice as fast, but it does not erode like triple leverage. That is one reason I was fearful of triple leverage. So I think this market is actually headed down further, and I may buy more double leverage silver, possibly even at the end of the day. And if there's a slight bounce tomorrow, sell it. Basically fighting the tide. Now, I think it's next to impossible to predict some things technically, because it gives an idea where the market's going to bounce, but it's actually news-driven events that are making the markets change in a short term. Obviously, silver and oil are going to do great this year because of tensions with Iran, and right now they're down, and I'm assuming that oil is probably going to go down to 103 or more because of this latest news story that's out here. EU, European Union, world powers accept nuclear talks with Iran. Tehran permits inspection of key sites. Now, obviously there's people that know this is coming up, and that's how they get more money. The EU said Tuesday that world powers have agreed to a new round of talks with Iran over its nuclear programs, and Iran gave permission for inspectors to visit a site suspected of secret atomic work. The two developments appear to be counter somewhat the crisis environment over Iran's nuclear development program. Yes, that does defuse the situation so much. I don't know. I mean, quite obviously that people who are in oil know it can change right back in 2 seconds flat. But I guess if you were on this story, you could have nailed it right there. But I don't want to sell anything, even at a loss, to try to buy back cheaper because I bought it with unsettled funds. But I was aware of how double leverage works. It doesn't even matter if I don't know which way the markets are going to go, and that is a risk I took, but I'll hold that. But I'm mainly in cash now, mainly because I dumped a lot of stuff, and I think silver and palladium and a lot of the metals that are industrial are going to go down because this actual news is that severe. They're going to continue to go down even though they dropped a lot last night. Some things may bounce a little bit tonight, and I'm going to take a risk on that with silver, but I'm probably just going to do it with double leverage because I am not 100% sure. If there's a slight bounce, I'll get rid of that portion. But it's a little bit of a fighting tactic, but it's not working out. Well, basically I'm bullish on silver and oil, and right now they're in a correction period, and I got caught, but I reacted as fast as I possibly could. And if you have stops, it really doesn't help you because the first thing you're going to do in the morning is you're going to be stopped out, and you could just do that if you're watching it. So, there's nothing you can do about that. But I think that silver has a little more to go down. Now, I should have really picked up on how the silver cheerleaders are all out. I should have sold right here. And you know what? I forgot who remarked about that. My best judge, they were saying, was that when the silver cheerleaders are out in force, sell. But you know what? You really don't know because, while you're waiting for it can go up a lot more, and even when you're waiting for an opportunity, you could miss an opportunity. How many people missed big opportunities waiting for a little further pullback in silver. That's happened many times too. So, but I think the not just the current news, but some of the economic data is going to show some serious industry turndowns, and it's not that great news that's come out like just recently, but also from like I said, the Baltic Dry Index, and also what's going to possibly come up in March. And I have a little superstition that silver is probably going to do the opposite of what it did in March and April of last year. It seems it's roughly doing almost the opposite of what it did. Like 2010, if you place that over 2011, it's kind of really roughly the opposite. And, it's not a good reason at all, but it's more of a superstition. But I think it's not going to bounce hard until it gets near 30. And there's also some indications somebody opens their mouth and says, we are going to stimulate the economy now because there's a problem. That's going to make it take off, and that'll be the buying opportunity. But I'm mostly in cash now, so I'm thinking there's going to be a little more descent. So, as far as like descending as far as money-wise, but when you're in cash, there's no effect on nothing. I'm mostly in cash now. But next time, it's very hard. I can't really criticize the silver cheerleaders because sometimes the market will go up much, much, much higher. But, Bernanke, when he opened his mouth, this happened. We could have caught this. And, that bounce was a smart thing to catch. Now, this stuff, you really didn't know. You really didn't know because it is strictly upon data that's coming out of Europe. And that you don't know at all. I think the only thing you could have caught was a piece of this and this bounce. But still, things can be pretty good if you really try to manage it hard enough. And I'm going to see if I can catch silver a little lower and buy into more AGQ later.